I should be live now, hopefully. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Guys, welcome back to the channel. I am the Viking, of course. Today is a day where I want to talk about some interesting, not news, but interesting activity on Twitter, especially from HBO Max and their account. Yeah, I'll get into that in a second. People tweeting hashtag cancel HBO Max instead of hashtag restore the Snyderverse. And today is Superhero Day. Today is Superhero Day, so I'll be talking about some of the movies I love from the superhero genre and some superheroes that I love. And you guys can tell me who you love as well and what movies. But yeah, so let me share this to the other interwebs, Facebook, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so people are tweeting hashtag cancel HBO Max, and I don't know if I fully agree with that. It's kind of a hard thing to see what to do. Like, what is the right decision to make? We're consumers who pay for HBO Max and we want more Snyderverse. And if we're not happy with the product that we're paying for, we have a right to cancel that or not pay for it anymore, which is true. So many people are upset on Twitter and people are angry. I didn't want to make too many controversial tweets because then people get a little bit annoyed, people get a little bit taken back by things and then trying to insult you or just get basically really annoyed. So I don't want to annoy too many people online, but yeah. So look, people are tweeting hashtag cancel HBO Max, and because a HBO Max account tweeted, or not tweeted, they retweeted a tweet that was showing shade towards the Snyder Cut movement. And basically the tweet was like this one guy who was obviously trolling and probably doesn't like the Snyder Cut, or doesn't like Zack Snyder, or hates the fans and stuff like that. He was basically like, oh, Wonder Woman, Mortal Kombat, Godzilla vs. Kong, the top three HBO Max movies. Sorry, Snyder Bros, nice try, or something like that. And there was an article attached to it as well. And an official HBO Max account retweeted it. And they liked it, they retweeted it, and of course everyone was able to see that. And then people were a little bit upset over this and throwing shade at Warner Brothers and HBO Max, maybe because the account was throwing shade towards Snyder fans. And so that led to people saying, F this, I'm cancelling my HBO Max subscription, I'm not doing it anymore, and they won't even give us the Snyder Cut numbers, and it looks like there's no continuation of the Snyderverse or anything like that. Which people can do that. You're paying for a product and you're not satisfied, then you can unsubscribe. It's as simple as that. And it's up to the business to please the consumer. And if the consumer is not pleased, then obviously the consumer has the right to cancel that. But HBO Max is a big corporation. Warner Media is a big corporation. Would Snyder fans unsubscribing from their service hurt them? Would it hurt them enough for them to say, oh my God, we need to do something here quick? And it's interesting because how many people who really love Zack Snyder are willing to unsubscribe from HBO Max? And how many people actually have HBO Max as the app HBO Max? Now here, I don't have HBO Max because it's not available. And it's not available in Germany and France and the UK and many other places around the world. HBO Max isn't a global streaming service like Netflix or like Disney Plus. You can get Netflix mostly anywhere and Disney Plus mostly the same. But HBO Max, of course, is a new up-and-coming streaming service. It's around just over a year now, and I've said before that I think they should change the name. The name isn't good enough. It's not appealing. I think that hurts them. I think maybe they're them not being exposed in all areas of the world hurts them as well, and it hurts their brand. But would enough Snyder Cut fans unsubscribing from the service hurt them enough? And I don't know if it would, because a lot of Snyder's fans are international. Of course, many are in the US, but many of them are international as well. He's got huge fans in India, in China, all around the world. Zack Snyder has fans. They've watched his movies. They love his movies. They love him. But how can I unsubscribe from HBO Max when it's not available here? How do I show my disconnect with HBO Max as a service? How do I tell them? I can tweet hashtag restore the Snyderverse. I can tweet, all those kind of things. I can tweet, come on, HBO Max, release it, make more of these movies. I can do all that till I'm tired, till my fingers can't tweet anymore. But can that really hurt their brand? Now, many people, I think there's even a trending event, hashtag cancel HBO Max. Now, I think there's a way you can do hashtag cancel HBO Max. I think there's a way that you probably should do it. And there's one way that people will be reactionary. Look, basically the tweet that was retweeted, is it throwing shade? Yes, of course it is. Okay. But I don't think the admin of that page read the entire tweet. I don't think he thought, oh my God, I'll retweet this now because the whole entire corporation does not want more Snyderverse. I think the higher ups at Warner Brothers don't want more Snyderverse. That's obvious. Zack Snyder said they don't want to work with him anymore. He said this. He said the Justice League 2017 is canon. His movies are not canon. Okay. And he says he doesn't know if more is going to happen, if any more in this universe is going to happen. He never thought the Snyderverse would get released in the first place. So we're already in an uphill battle against those people. And then when the numbers aren't released of the Snyderverse or Snyder Cut movie, the numbers for that aren't released, we get a little bit annoyed, of course. And I would love to see the numbers. But the numbers don't have to beat Godzilla v. Kong. They don't have to beat Mortal Kombat. They don't have to beat Wonder Woman whatsoever, because those movies are theatrical movies and they're also streaming, the two of them, because they're put together over what happened with COVID. But Zack Snyder's Justice League is a HBO Max original. And it's the biggest HBO Max original that they've had in terms of a movie. And I don't think that they have showed it enough exposure, because I said this last night in the stream, when Matrix 4, when Godzilla v. Kong, when those sequels to those movies happen, and Mortal Kombat 2 comes out, they won't hit HBO Max first. They'll come out in theaters first. And then what do HBO Max have left? They have their originals left. And of course, they have older movies as well. But people are going to subscribe to see newer content. And what do they have left? The Snyderverse is an original for HBO Max. It really is. It was a HBO Max original. And for them to greenlit more, to say we'll do a spin-off, we'll do 2 and 3, that would help them in the long run, because Disney Plus has The Mandalorian, WandaVision, Loki, Amazon has The Boys, stuff like that, Angel Cortez goes, I haven't cancelled my HBO Max subscription, but I'm thinking about it. What do you think, Viking? Well, it's totally up to you, man, because you're a consumer, you're paying for the product. But ask yourself this, are you unsatisfied? Are you not satisfied as a consumer? Are you not happy with the HBO Max as a whole? Do you watch shows? Do you watch movies on it? What do you watch most of all the subscriptions that you have? Do you watch Netflix more? Do you watch HBO Max more? But if you are unhappy as a consumer, it's in your right to unsubscribe, of course. And if you don't feel that they're listening to you as a consumer, then unsubscribe if that's what you feel like. But my question is, would enough Snyder fans who unsubscribe be enough for HBO Max to really notice and to really think, oh, we need to do something here quick? Like, is there enough people that would actually unsubscribe? And is there enough people for HBO Max to stand up and think, okay, we're in trouble here? Because my point is, a lot of the Snyderverse fans are international. They're international fans. And we don't have HBO Max here, so I can't unsubscribe to HBO Max. All I can tweet is #restore the Snyderverse. That's all I can really do. And they don't care for international numbers whatsoever. And I talked about this last night as well. The best thing to do was to say, Zack Snyder's Justice League, HBO Max original. This is what I did domestically. This is what I did international. A HBO Max original has done these numbers around the world. Our product is working. Our brand is working. That's the right way to do it. That's the business point of view to do it. But they don't care how it does here in the UK or in Germany, because they don't have a service available to people in that sector. People can't buy HBO Max. It's licensed out to companies here. Like here it's Sky, Now TV. It was licensed to them. They don't care really how well it did in those. They don't. If HBO Max was here, of course they would care. But it just shows you that they only care about their domestic HBO Max subscribers. And maybe, I think in the Asian places, HBO Max is available or HBO Go, but it isn't an internationally available service. And I think that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. So I don't necessarily think that it would cause absolute frustration within HBO Max if all Snyderverse fans unsubscribed. What I think would hurt them, and I think this is the way that it should be done, is if cancel HBO Max was trending, or if something along those lines was trending. I don't know what else you could use. Maybe you come up with a better hashtag, people work together, and I don't know, HBO Max, Snyderverse, something like that. Snyderverse, HBO Max. I don't know what kind of hashtag you use, but to have that trending for a few days, for a few weeks, that would look bad for HBO Max as a brand, especially a brand that's trying to compete with Netflix and Disney Plus. And if it was trending, let's just use hashtag cancel HBO Max right now. I don't know if it's the best hashtag to use, but let's just use that for example. If that was trending day to day, that would look bad for them. That would actually look worse than people unsubscribing in a way. Because I don't think enough Snyder fans are out there to unsubscribe as a whole to make a difference. That's just my opinion. Maybe there is. Maybe everyone could come together and unsubscribe and it would cause them to look and maybe negotiate with Zack and say, let's do spin-offs, let's do sequels, let's do more because this is the biggest thing. This is what fans want. Maybe. I don't know. But I just think a lot of general audiences are subscribed. I think that's the bulk of their views and the people that watch it. Edits goes, there's no way that the Snyder Cut numbers are 1.8 million. It doesn't make any sense. Warner Brothers is hiding them. Maybe. Like, the only thing we have to go off on is Samba TV. And Samba TV aren't accurate. It's only, I think it's, if your TV is a part of their service, Samba TV, and they have some device installed or there's some way of calculating what you watch, that's what they do, Samba TV. And that doesn't do every single household. I read up on it before. I think it doesn't do households with more than one TV, or it doesn't do iPads. It doesn't do a lot of things with Samba TV. So 1.8 million is definitely more. But you have to look at Godzilla v. Kong as well. You have to look at Wonder Woman 84, Mortal Kombat. That's obviously higher as well. But that's not to say that in a house of 5 TVs, 4 people could have watched Snyder Cut, 2 people could have watched Mortal Kombat, but they don't calculate it that way. They only calculate the main, say if you have a house TV, it's in the sitting room, that's the one that the device is in, and that's what they see and watch. But you could be upstairs watching the Snyder Cut, your brother could be in the other room watching the Snyder Cut, something like that. So they don't calculate everything. And 1.8 million is definitely higher. It definitely is. But what I'm saying is it doesn't have to beat Godzilla v. Kong. It doesn't have to beat Wonder Woman 84. It doesn't. Because those movies are theatrically trained movies. They were intended to come out in theaters first. And you could argue that the Snyder Cut was the same back in the day. But they labeled Zack Snyder's Justice League as a HBO Max original. Wonder Woman 84, it may have come out, but that was intended to be in theaters. And it was in theaters and it made money. And Godzilla v. Kong is in theaters. Mortal Kombat's in theaters. But what I'm saying is, if Wonder Woman 84 had a sequel, the third movie, Godzilla v. Kong had a sequel, Mortal Kombat had a sequel, those movies would come out in theaters because people are vaccinated and theaters are open and they want to make that box office money. So what do HBO Max have left? They have their originals left that would attract people. And one of those would be Zack Snyder's world that he's building. And of course, other shows as well. But yeah, it definitely was higher, big time. And again, the international numbers were even higher. But people, they don't care about the people internationally that don't have HBO Max. I don't have it here. I don't know if you have HBO Max or not, but we watched it through a licensed company who purchased the Snyder Cut, released it here. We watched it, but they didn't care for those numbers. Like, of course, the companies here cared for it because we were sending engagement towards here at Sky or Now TV. But internationally, HBO Max don't care because it's not available in your country. So it's definitely higher worldwide. And that's why I'm saying they should have, their business and their management is a little bit off, in my opinion, because what they should have did was say, Snyder Cut's a HBO Max original. It did this internationally. It did this domestically. HBO Max originals are doing pretty well for us at the moment. The Flight Attendant was pretty popular here as well. You don't hear any numbers about that. You also, about that show, Ridley Scott's show, Raised by Wolves, did pretty well internationally as well, but you don't hear about those numbers because they don't care because HBO Max isn't available. And it goes, these other films were promoted way more and internationally. Here in Europe, there wasn't really any commercial advertising, only on Sky. The rest was on US social media, Twitter, etc. Yeah, so like Wonder Woman 84 was supposed to be a theatrical movie, so trailers came out, billboards, I'm sure, and stuff like that. Internationally, people knew. And the thing is, many people still didn't know that the Snyder Cut was different from the 2017 version. And I'm sure there's people out there who still haven't watched the Snyder Cut, and they probably still think it's just a longer version of just extra scenes, but it's basically the same movie that they watched back in 2017. So you have to take that into account as well. Wonder Woman 84, Mortal Kombat, Godzilla v. Kong are brand new movies being advertised as brand new movies. The Snyder Cut always had an uphill battle because of the previous movie that came out and the way that it was received, and also because they butchered the movie so much. So yeah, I agree with that as well. They were promoted way more internationally, and the Snyder Cut was definitely promoted on social media as well. But I think the Snyder Cut did pretty well for something that was, you could argue, the same movie that came out in 2017, because that's what people would have thought. And I think the movie did pretty well, because you look online when the movie came out, people were raving about Zack Snyder's Justice League. They wanted more. It was hashtags every single day. It was trending every single day. People were really into this. I sat down and watched it with my family who have never seen Man of Steel or Batman v Superman. They loved the movie. I sat down with my family, 5 other people, and they watched it and they loved the movie so much they sat down for the entire 4 hours. Jonah goes, it was so disappointing that our international views didn't help towards the overall cause. I understand HBO Max is a different streaming service, but our numbers abroad should count for something. I totally agree, and it's so annoying that it doesn't. But you know, Jonah, when it does make a difference? It's when it's box office. If Zack Snyder's Justice League came out internationally in theaters only, and it made, I don't know, just to say it made its budget back of the 70 million or 100 million plus marketing, then they would care. They would care because they're making money. That's the thing. Mortal Kombat, they care. It's making money all over the world right now. Godzilla v Kong just passed 400 million. They care because it's making money internationally, where HBO Max isn't available. So it is disappointing, and it should mean something, because it's really annoying that they only care about their domestic when it makes no sense whatsoever. It really doesn't, because if a movie came out, Expendables, I don't know which one it was either 2 or 3. It didn't do that well domestically, but in China and internationally, it did really well. And that's what got them to greenlit a sequel. I think it was the first Expendables, actually. It did pretty well internationally, and that's what made them greenlit more. And I'm sure there's a few other examples of that as well, where the domestic box office wasn't that good for a movie, but internationally, it absolutely killed, and that's why a sequel was announced and a sequel happened. It honestly makes no sense, and it is annoying. It is annoying that our views don't count for anything. And that's what I'm saying, Jonah, is when they say hashtag cancel HBO Max, we can't cancel it. We don't have HBO Max. So how can we make a difference by canceling HBO Max when we don't have it? We can't. We honestly can't. And that's why I'm arguing, is there enough people domestically that have HBO Max willing to cancel their subscription and to make a difference towards HBO Max, and for them to think, oh my God, we lost 6 million subscribers. What the hell's going on? I don't think that makes much of a difference for them unless something like that happened. But I don't think 6 million Snyder Cut fans are going to unsubscribe for them to make a difference, or 1 million, or even 500,000. I think that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. That's why I don't fully agree with cancel HBO Max. You can cancel it, but I don't think enough is going to be making a difference. I think what can make a difference is hashtags, is trending, is showing how unsatisfied you are as a consumer. Because what looks bad for a company worse than bad PR? If it was cancel hashtag, or hashtag cancel HBO Max, or I don't know, some other hashtag needs to be created. I think cancel just seems a little bit negative. And if that was the trend for a week or a few days or a few weeks every so often, that would look bad for them on a PR level, especially when Netflix and Disney Plus are killing it. Angel Cortez goes, I got HBO Max only for the Snyder Cut and his universe. I don't really care for the other new releases that are coming out. Warner Media has no plans to continue with the Snyderverse. Why keep HBO Max? And Sean Franklin says, hi, how you doing, man? Look, if I would love to have HBO Max. I would love if it's here. I'd probably be a subscriber because I love Warner Brothers movies. I really do. And I would have loved to watch, I just would have loved to watch maybe all the Harry Potter movies or something like that. I'm a Warner Brothers fan. And it is disappointing, but if they're not going to greenlit more Snyderverse, I know it is hard for people to say subscribe to it because that's what they want. Especially when we see a Satana movie or a Blue Beetle movie or a Static Shock movie all in the works and all happening. Yeah, it is kind of annoying. And HBO Max is the perfect platform for them to create their own universe of the Snyderverse, even if it's just finished 2 and 3. But you have so much popular characters in terms of Jared Leto's Joker. You could do a mini-series there. That would absolutely kill. It would bring in so many people. It would cause so much hype for HBO Max. Deathstroke with Joe Manganiello. He said that his would cost, 30 million, 35 million of a budget, or maybe it's 40. Still cheaper than the Joker movie, which made $1 billion and won a few Oscars as well. So yeah, I think I've said it before, I just think their management has been pretty poor of the world of DC. It just has. It really has. And the next one that comes out is the Suicide Squad. Then we have to wait for the Batman, then the Flash movie. So I think there's a line of movies that will be successful for Warner Brothers in terms of box office, but will it have that longevity in terms of a Marvel? Because it actually felt like with Zack Snyder's Justice League that a universe was slowly building. People were invested into the characters in Zack Snyder's Justice League, and we had seen Ben Affleck's Batman go on a journey. We had seen Henry Cavill go on a journey as Superman. And I think it made us feel for those characters even more. Martha Kent, Lois Lane, Martian Manhunter. We had seen these characters before, even Jared Leto in Suicide Squad, the Harley Quinn reference. It felt like a universe was building, and people were starting to care about DC as a universe. But then to be told, well, not be told, but just to have no word and any more continuation of that. Next movie, The Suicide Squad, which is a soft reboot of David Ayer's one. Then the next one is a reboot completely of the Batman world with Matt Reeves, Robin Pattinson. The next one, the Flash movie. Michael Keaton's going to be in it. It could reboot everything. I don't know if it is, but I just wanted to make a good Flash movie. At its goes, I would buy HBO Max day one if it would be available in Europe. And so much other people here want it too. They need to get rid of that Sky contract or do something for us to have HBO Max. Yeah, Sky is... and just last year, they extended their Sky contract for their 5 years, unfortunately. But it comes down to contracts at the end of the day. It comes down to money. It's a little bit crazy. But yeah, Sky, I don't have Sky. Like I got it to watch the Snyder Cut, of course, Now TV and stuff like that. But I had Sky for years, just very expensive. It's got some good movies and shows on it and sport and stuff like that. But I'm more of like, I have Netflix, I have Disney Plus. I had Amazon there for a little bit as well. I'll probably get it again when The Boys comes around. And, but yeah, it is annoying. I don't know how long it's going to be before HBO Max actually hits here, but they won't care until HBO Max is here. They don't care about what we watch. Sean Franklin goes, why Warner Brothers hates Zack Snyder? I don't know if everybody within Warner Brothers hates Zack Snyder, but there's definitely bad blood between those two, big time, 100%. Zack Snyder's worked with Warner Brothers since 300. He did Watchmen. That was a Paramount kind of release as well, but with Warner Brothers, Sucker Punch, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Zack Snyder's Justice League. He's been a Warner Brothers guy for so long, but now he's left and he's gone to Netflix. And I think Netflix is the way forward for Zack Snyder, big time. I do. I think he's going to get creativity, he's going to get money, he gets full control, he gets to do what he wants. He's slowly building the universe there. There's a prequel coming, there's an animated show coming as well. Army of the Dead will probably get a sequel. He's introducing zombies, Area 51, maybe aliens, maybe superheroes. The possibilities are just endless with what Zack Snyder can do with Netflix and with Army of the Dead. But yeah, I think a lot of people like Toby Emmerich, Walter Hamada, they just want to go away from Zack Snyder's world. I think Zack Snyder has proved them wrong so many times. Zack Snyder's Justice League being a hit has proven them wrong. The success, the popularity of it, even the Rotten Tomatoes score has proved a lot of the Warner Brothers people wrong. Walter Hamada has his vision, the Hamadaverse, which is the worst name ever. Who made that first? I think it was Grace Randolph said Hamadaverse. It's terrible. She even thinks it's bad as well. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, but they want to go in their own direction, their own kind of future. And even read that Ann Sarnoff article a few weeks ago, like 3 days after the Snyder Cut came out, she talked about doing what Marvel are doing, so they're still catching up to Marvel. They're still chasing that Marvel money and that popularity. I don't know if it's ever going to come. I really don't, because as I said, the Snyderverse actually felt like a universe was slowly building and people started to care for these characters. But now it's ripped away and we're going again in a different direction with Hamada's worlds. We'll have to see how it goes. I think the Hamadaverse movies will be good. They'll be watchable. They'll be interesting. But will they create that hype of DC back in 2016 with Suicide Squad, with Batman v Superman, with Wonder Woman coming out, the anticipation for Justice League? I don't know. I really don't know. Angel Cortez goes, Viking, if you had HBO Max, would you cancel or keep your subscription? It's a good question. And it's very hard to answer that question. I don't know. I have Netflix here. My family watches Netflix, so it'd have to be a family decision for me. Like, just say if HBO Max was Netflix, it'd have to be a family decision. I have to go, hey guys, I'm going to cancel this because they're not making something that I want to watch. I know you guys don't watch that kind of stuff, but I don't watch it, so I want to watch it, so I'm going to cancel. It's very hard for me to say that. But if I was in my own place with HBO Max and I don't know if I would, because I don't think it would make a difference. As I said, I don't think enough people would unsubscribe for it to make a difference, for it to hurt them. I think the hashtags will hurt them. According to some outlets, the Snyder Cut was a failure. Yeah, I think that's just a media spin because no official numbers have been released. Samba TV it's not completely accurate. And I think they're just using those numbers to say, oh, Godzilla v. Kong did more, Wonder Woman did more, Mortal Kombat did more than the Snyder Cut. And we know why those kind of did better in a way, but we don't know fully. We don't know the full numbers. So for all we know, Zack Snyder's Justice League could have beat Wonder Woman fully. We just don't know because we don't have accurate numbers. But it didn't have to beat those other movies. It didn't have to whatsoever. And they're saying it didn't drive subscribers. How do we know? How do we know it didn't drive subscribers? Because, people were subscribed from May 2020 when it got announced. People subscribed when Wonder Woman was announced. People subscribed when the full slate was announced. People subscribed when the Snyder Cut got a release date. People subscribed when Godzilla v. Kong was the first trailer came out. That was pretty big. People subscribed for Tom and Jerry. How do they know people subscribe for what? There's no gauge to really say, oh, these people subscribe to this. All they know is what people watched, what people were engaging with, and Snyder Cut was pretty popular online. So I'm guessing a lot of people did watch it. And if Samba TV said 1.8 million, it's obviously more because they don't do all TVs, as I said, in all households. So it's obviously more than that. And then what was the international numbers? I don't think it was a failure. I really don't. And I think the longevity of the Snyderverse would have been a big help to HBO Max going forward. They announced Harry Potter. They announced Green Lantern Corps, Justice League, or not Justice League, Game of Thrones animated show. They announced Justice League Dark. The four of those, none of them are in production right now filming. So take away all the theatrical movies like Matrix, Godzilla v. Kong, Mortal Kombat, all those sequels in 2022, 2023. What do they have for you to subscribe to HBO Max? The old content, but what newer content are you most interested in? So I don't know, really. Harry Potter show should have been in development years ago, probably when the movies ended, at least when Game of Thrones ended. And Game of Thrones ended back in 2016, and we haven't had anything since. You know, it's just bad creative management, in my opinion. And did you see that kind of article a few weeks ago that since Game of Thrones ended, HBO have lost half of their viewership? There you go. Jonah goes, you said hashtags work. Can I ask the legendary story of your first hashtag release Snyder Cut tweet and how it spread so cool? It was an Irishman that tweeted it first. Yeah. So the hashtag release Snyder Cut was tweeted on the 21st of November 2017, 4 days after the theatrical movie had come out. Yeah, I may have tweeted it. It's honestly, ultimately, every single person, because it doesn't matter. Like, that's what I'm saying. 10 people unsubscribing from HBO Max doesn't make a difference. 10 people tweeting hashtag restore the Snyderverse doesn't make a difference. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. 10 people tweeting that doesn't make a difference. It takes a unity. It takes everybody to make something like that happen. You know, so you need everybody. And the Snyder Cut movement is huge, and there's great people involved, but it takes people working together to make any bit of difference whatsoever. So, yeah, pretty cool, proud. But look, I could have tweeted hashtag oranges are orange, and I could have been the only one tweeting that. But it takes people to care. You know, it takes people to care about something for it to make a difference in a way. So people did care, and it did make a difference. And hashtag restore the Snyderverse is used now. Edits goes, DCU 2016 was the best time. They had the right plan, but what messed it up was Warner Brothers' early actions by interfering and cutting, changing the films. Not to forget the rush by doing Justice League 1 year after Batman v Superman. Yeah, they were just catching up with Marvel. That's no doubt about it. They were catching up with Marvel. Went from Man of Steel to Batman v Superman to Justice League. I think it worked. Like, it's cool. But they were trying to catch up to Marvel big time, and they didn't have that Marvel money. So that's why they cut up Suicide Squad, the ending to Wonder Woman, Justice League. They didn't have that popularity that they wanted. So, you know, they squashed their plans instead of sticking by their filmmakers and saying, okay, these guys are talented. They have a vision. Let's stick behind them and let's go forward. It's not like the DC movies back in 2016, 2017 bombed at the box office before Justice League. None of those movies bombed. They made serious amount of money. Suicide Squad overperformed. Batman v Superman, yes, it didn't make $1 billion, but so what? Like, so what? I think on Blu-rays, it made 90 million domestically. Okay, you can push that to $1 billion if you want, but like, it's just about moving the goalposts and whatever fits your agenda. $1 billion, I don't care. I enjoy the movie. I love the movie, and a lot of people did. A lot of people did, but they interfere with their artists too much. James Gunn didn't get any interference, I bet, because he's a $1 billion Marvel director. Matt Reeves has had huge success with the Planet of the Apes world, so I'm sure he got to do what he wanted to do as well. And Andy Muschietti with The Flash, I don't know if he's getting full control. Ray Fisher was booted out. I don't know. Angel Cortez goes, the Snyder Cut movement has become so divided now. Can't we all just fight the good fight? We're all fighting to hashtag restore the Snyderverse. Yeah, and then you have people who just kind of a bit negative online. Of course, you have that in every aspect of life, sports, politics, movies, anything. There's always negative people. And, you know, people are divided. People saying cancel HBO Max. People saying don't cancel HBO Max. As I said, doesn't make a difference. What makes a difference is coming together, tweeting hashtag restore the Snyderverse, tweeting hashtag Deathstroke HBO Max, Batfleck HBO Max, Jared Leto HBO Max, whatever you want to do. Those kind of things make a difference because articles are published about those and things like that. But I don't know if hashtag cancel HBO Max is the right hashtag to use, because that could be spun as negative. I think there's a different hashtag that needs to be created to showcase the HBO Max that their consumers are unsatisfied. I don't know what that hashtag is. Maybe I'll come up with one. I'll tweet it out later, but I have to come up. I just think it's this very thing is very particular because you don't want to push the negative boat too much. You want to be kind of positive in a way, as you said, come together and just show them that we're unsatisfied. Sorry. Exactly. DCU's Phase 1 was very successful and killed the box office. Suicide Squad without China, etc. Now imagine these films released with 100% creative control. Yeah, exactly. And they've hurt themselves in the long run. You know, Birds of Prey didn't make money. Shazam didn't make money. Two movies I really, really like. I enjoy those movies a lot. But didn't make money. Aquaman made $1 billion. I think that did pretty well. You know, Jason Momoa is a very good looking man, and you know, a lot of things like that worked for that movie. The movie's very good as well, and it made $1 billion. You know, but that movie was in production before Walter Amati came in, before the new regime came in. That movie was always in production. So yeah, that made $1 billion. But we'll have to see, because the Suicide Squad movie isn't going to make $1 billion. The Batman isn't going to make $1 billion because theaters won't be open to full capacity and stuff like that. But yeah, I just think 2016 had so much hype around it. I was a huge DC fan. Now, guys, last 5 or 10 minutes, as I said in the title of the video, today is Superhero Day. Hashtag Superhero Day. So, guys, you write in the comments, let me know your favorite superhero. And favorite superhero movie. Now, it doesn't have to be from the same. Like you can pick Wolverine, and you can also pick The Dark Knight as your favorite movie. So tell me, if we use the hashtag cancel HBO Max, Warner Bros. Executives will call us toxic in more interviews, and media outlets will paint us as the most toxic fan base. Yeah, that's why I'm saying we have to be very particular what hashtag we use. And I don't know if cancel HBO Max is the right one, but yeah, we'll have to see. But I'm only one guy, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. I don't know, but I just think going by past history, yeah, that's what they would label us. But guys, Superhero Day. So tell me your favorite superhero movie and your favorite superhero character. Okay, I want to know, because so I'll go with my few. Like, so if I was to say my top 5 comic book movies of all time, number 1 for me is The Dark Knight. No doubt about it. I love The Dark Knight so much. Number 1, I don't think it's ever going to be beaten. I just love Heath Ledger's performance. I think he's absolutely insane. Love him in the role. It's a pity that he passed away. I never got to see his performance, never got a sequel or anything like that. Edit Scott's Marvel film, Infinity War. Yeah, I'm going to talk about MCU, Fox, and DC in different aspects. So my complete favorite comic book movie of all time is The Dark Knight. The performances are unbelievable. That movie just flows so well. I think it's just a constant flow. That movie, I never get bored. I just think it seeps from Act 1 into Act 2 into Act 3 perfectly, and that's great. I think the Two-Face actor, I always forget his name, Eckhart, I think is his name, second name. He was brilliant in the role, giving an unbelievable performance. Christian Bale is still great, but he's outperformed by his villains. You know, big time. Christian Bale's a great actor. But Christopher Nolan is acting like that film. If you watch it, it looks like it came out today. It just looks so good. But Heath Ledger for me will always be the ultimate Joker, and he's just great. He was unbelievable, and I think his Oscar win that year was worthy, a worthy one, big time. But yeah, that's my favorite comic book movie of all time is The Dark Knight. My favorite superhero actor, kind of in the role, that's a hard one. That's really hard, because I love Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. I love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and I love Ben Affleck as Batman. So it's definitely between those 3. You know, Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man's kind of probably maybe 4th, maybe. He'd come around there at some time as well. But yeah, I just don't know. It's hard for me to pick, because even though all the Fox movies weren't that good, I still enjoyed them. I think Wolverine, Hugh Jackman was just brilliant in all of them. But then the Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man is the ultimate Spider-Man for me. He is the best Spider-Man. And I love that trilogy so much, even though number 3 isn't the best. I can admit that, but I still have some fun with it. And then Ben Affleck's Batman, who is unbelievable in... It's funny how all 3 of those actors have a really bad comic book movie. You know, Ben Affleck's Justice League 2017, bad. Wolverine Origins, bad. And Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 3, kind of bad as well. It's interesting that they all have a really great one, but then also a really bad one. But yeah, Ben Affleck for me, just love him in the role so much. He's just big, strong, physical, fast, perfect as Bruce Wayne. And yeah, it's hard for me to pick. If I was to pick one, who would I pick? Who brought me the most happiness on screen? Now that's such a hard one for me to go. I'll go with, because of how long he played the character, I'll go with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, big time. I just think for him to be in the 3 X-Men movies, to go into Days of Future Past, have cameos in First Class, have his 3 individual movies, I just think that's an unbelievable feat to have. And not many actors can do that. Even Robert Downey Jr. didn't really make that either. And I think Hugh Jackman as Wolverine was great. Logan, for me, is my favorite Marvel movie of all time. Just really great. As in Marvel. unbelievable film. Not my favorite MCU would be Infinity War, but yeah, I'll go with Hugh Jackman, my favorite comic book movie actor character of all time. And it goes favorite DCEU movie is Man of Steel and the Dark Knight trilogy. Batman Begins. Favorite is MCU character would be War Machine. That's nice. That's interesting. That's outside the box. Marvel hero Spider-Man and Venom. MCU Infinity War and Marvel in general, probably Spider-Man 2. Raimi. That's a great one, Spider-Man 2. And we're getting a continuation of that story, kinda, with Doc Ock coming back, Green Goblin coming back for Spider-Man 3. So that's pretty cool. That's cool that you kind of have War Machine there, because I do like John Cheadle in the role, and I thought he was going to die in Civil War when he gets kind of hit in midair and he falls to the ground. I was like, no, don't kill him. I really like him. So I like how his story is continuing. I think he's going to be in the Iron Hearts show on Disney Plus. He's going to be in that, so that's pretty awesome as well. I do like him as a character, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Infinity War is my favorite MCU film. Just love that so much. I would say my favorite Marvel movie is Logan. Probably a little bit behind would be Spider-Man 2. I also love Deadpool 2 as well. I think that's just a great movie. DC movie would be Dark Knight, and DCEU movie would be, I'm going to go with Zack Snyder's Justice League. I just think that's just an inspiring movie. Big time. Armor Wars. Yes. Yeah, Armor Wars. That's the one. Yes. Thank you. He's going to be in Armor Wars. Might make a cameo, though, on that. There's one called Iron Heart as well with the little girl. I think he might make a cameo on that. And he also made a cameo in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier as well. So he's made a lot of appearances as War Machine. Big time, Don Cheadle. So yeah, he's a great actor anyway. He really is. But yeah, that's what I think about DCU. I go with Zack Snyder's Justice League. I just think that's such an inspiring movie. One of my favorite lines from comic book movie history is it Alfred? He goes, how do you know he'll come? And Ben Affleck's like, fate, Alfred, fate. The music kicks in, they get into the plane or the jet, and they fly off to the final battle. That's just inspiring. That is just insane. Absolutely love that so much. Big time. If you guys have any other heroes that you like or superhero movies that you like, today is Superhero Day, so definitely let me know. But yeah, Deadpool 2 for me is just a great movie. I love that movie so much. It's so funny. It's I never get tired of watching it, and I think it's better than the first Deadpool. I really do. I think Josh Brolin comes in as Cable is just brilliant, and the time travel bit at the end where he kills himself as Green Lantern, that's just hilarious. Edits goes, MCU Phase 1 and 2 was better than 3 and 4 in my opinion. It got too much comedy and felt like the same afterwards. Yeah, there was a lot of comedic elements. I think the Phase 1 of the MCU, because Paramount was involved as well, or was it Universal? I think they distribute some of the movies as well. The early Iron Man movies, I like Iron Man 2. It's not all comedy. You know, The Incredible Hulk with Ed Norton, I think, was a very good movie as well. Captain America, The First Avenger. Those movies don't have much comedy in them. They have some comedy, but they're not over the top. And I think the later movies definitely do have a lot more comedy in them. But this new phase of Marvel is a little bit more serious. WandaVision, had some dark themes to it. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I absolutely love that show, guys. It's top tier MCU for me. It's up there with the Winter Soldier. It's up there with Infinity War for me as my favorite MCU product or show or movie that they put out. I just think it's absolutely brilliant. But yeah, maybe they're getting a little bit more serious now. That Shang-Chi trailer came out, Shang-Chi, however you pronounce it, didn't have much comedy in the trailer until the very last moment. And that very last moment on the bus, what did the woman say? Like, we work well together or something like that. A comedic moment at the end. It just didn't work. It was out of place. So hopefully the movie doesn't have loads of out of place moments of comedy in it, because that trailer was pretty serious. We've also got Eternals coming as well from the director who just won an Oscar, Chloe Zhao. So I'm interested to see what she can do as well. But yeah, they did bring a lot of comedic moments into their movies, but it works for them. That's their formula. That's what makes money for them. It's a family audience, friendly appeal to the people that watch their movies and pay for their movies, and they give people what they want. Edits. We want HBO Max to restore the Snyderverse, but we also, I've always wanted Tobey Maguire to come back. Some people wanted Andrew Garfield to come back. That's actually happening because Marvel listened to their fan base. Edits. Gotham characters are my favorite. I mean, Joker, Batman, Two-Face, Harley, Bane, so many great stories. Yeah, exactly. And the Gotham TV show is pretty good as well. Really good show that. I slowly getting through it, but I'm enjoying it. It's just free. It's just fun. Different story every episode. But yeah, DC, my favorite world is Batman's world. Brilliant characters: Two-Face, Joker, Harley, Catwoman. It's just great. Great characters. Scarecrow as well. Bane, of course. Yeah. So I love DC. DC is my favorite. Batman's my favorite. Like, character in terms of the world he has. I'd watch anything Batman, no matter what it is. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But guys, I think I'll end it there. I want to thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. And a lot of good comments there from Angel, edits, Jonah, Sean as well. Jonah goes, Superman is my favorite superhero of all time. Henry Cavill made him relatable and grounded and developed. Saw Man of Steel 8 times in theaters. One of my favorite films. That's unbelievable, man. That is really great. Yeah, Henry Cavill is perfect in the role, and I hope he comes back in the future sometime. If it's in the Shazam verse, my prediction is the Shazam verse with Black Adam. The Rock, they have the same agent. I think The Rock appreciates Henry Cavill as Superman, so that's where I think he might pop up. I don't think it's going to happen anywhere else, unfortunately. But yeah, but look, he's the Witcher as well. He's got loads of things coming up. I bet you, I guarantee you, he comes back for the next Mission Impossible movie, or at least one or two of them. I know kind of what happened in the movie, but I think he was so popular on that they definitely want him back for more. But he's very popular. Even building a PC, he gets so many views and engagement. So Henry Cavill's great. Man of Steel, love it so much. Such a great story as well. So many great performances. And that's what Zack Snyder can do when he's given the freedom. Christopher Nolan was there as a producer and probably kept off the Warner Brothers executives from interfering badly with him. But guys, I think I'll end it there. I want to thank you very much for watching. Give a like, guys, if you can. Appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Do all kind of movie videos, reviews, TV, engagements, discussions, stuff like that on the channel, which is good. Guys, go follow me on Instagram as well, Movies That Matter. I review some movies that I wouldn't do on the channel. 5 or 6 minute reviews. I've done Nobody, starring Bob Odenkirk. Guys, such a great movie. Go check it out. But go to my Instagram. I'm just doing reviews of movies that I wouldn't do here. And yeah, it's just a little bit of fun. Also, Twitter, Movies That Matter. Facebook, Movies That Matter. TikTok, Movies That Matter. If you guys are on TikTok, come and give me a follow on that as well. I'll follow you back. And if I don't follow you back on Instagram or Twitter or any of those social media, just DM me. I'll see it and I'll follow you back, because I appreciate you guys watching and engaging with me here as well. So follow me in those. Make sure you follow me, and I'll follow back if I see your name and notice who you are. And yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, go give that a check out, guys. Really appreciate it. I'm going to watch that Justice League World War II movie tonight, and I'll probably do a review of that tomorrow, probably on Instagram. And keep an eye out for that. That looks like a good movie set in World War II. Flash, Wonder Woman looks pretty good. But guys, I'll end it there. Thanks very much for watching. Some interesting things we talked about today. Cancel HBO Max, Superhero Day, some of our favorite superheroes and stuff like that. You guys had some really good points about hashtag cancel HBO Max. Really appreciate all that kind of discussion there as well. But I'll see you on Twitter or online, guys. And thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And have a good day. Enjoy your day, guys. Do something that makes you happy. Watch something that makes you happy. And be nice.